Oh no! Is it the zombie apocalypse? Hopefully not yet. But anyway, it's House of the Dead for the Sega Saturn today on Power Up. Hi, welcome back to the show. In today's episode, I'm going to take a look at one of my favorite light gun shooters, the House of the Dead. This is an interesting game because at the time when this game released, it was in the arcades, but it was one of the last Sega Saturn games to be released for the system back in I think 1998, I believe. Anyway, I really enjoyed this game, and it took me a while to find this copy, and I am perplexed why House of the Dead 2 on the Dreamcast did not include this, maybe as an unlockable, which is quite odd, if you ask me. But anyway, this is what we're doing today, so let's go shoot some zombies! The House of the Dead was released in 1998 for the Sega Saturn, and it also saw a PC release as well. Well, the game has lots of branching paths, as well as people to save from the zombies. And from these branching paths, when you first play the game, you probably won't know if it's a branching path right off the bat, but as you play, you'll get to know, oh hey, I can go this way instead of this way. And it's kind of cool. And of course, at the end of the level, if you save enough people, you can get an extra life bonus. Be careful though, if you accidentally shoot said people, you get a life taken away, and that is not good. Anyway, I think the bosses you fight here have really weird names. For instance, there's this spider type boss, and I'm in level 3, I think, and the game calls it Hermit. What a weird name. I wonder the people who makes up those names. Anyway, and speaking of weird names, there's another boss you fight called Chariot. And this is, I think, is the level 1 boss. And anyway, I wonder how they come up with these names. I wonder. Like, I guess from what I hear, for this game and a couple other ones, and the other House of the Dead sequels, they got it from, I think, tarot cards. But I'm not too sure, don't quote me on that. But anyway, that's kind of weird. Also, this game, I noticed, is very rare. It was one of the last games released for the Sega Saturn, so it can be expensive. Thankfully though, if you still happen to have an old CRT TV to play this on, which I used for this review anyway, the light gun that Sega made for it, the Stunner, can be very cheap to acquire. I got mine actually brand new for less than 21 bucks. And it was on eBay, of course, so you'll have to look around. And exclusive to the home ports of the House of the Dead games, most notably the Sega Saturn one, there's a boss mode where you can practice against the bosses, which is quite fun. Basically, you are going for the fastest time, and your lives in this mode are limited, which is kind of neat. It's kind of like a time trial of sorts, where you can choose the boss, and basically you just try to bring him down the fastest, which is kind of cool. Also exclusive to the Saturn mode as well, mainly the Saturn, there is of course a self-explanatory Saturn mode, which is basically the arcade mode with a few changes, which is most notably including picking who you want to play as each player in the Saturn mode has different strengths and weaknesses. Other than that though, Saturn mode plays the exact same as the arcade mode. And anyway, I really like this game, and also this game must have done very well in the arcades and on the Saturn, I guess, because it made a couple sequels, including House of the Dead 2, which was released on the Dreamcast and eventually on the Wii, as well as House of the Dead 3, which was released also on the Xbox and the Wii. Actually, both House of the Dead 2 and 3 are on the Wii as part of the House of the Dead 2 and 3 Return, which is a really enjoyable compilation. And also, House of the Dead 4 was also released in the arcades. And I understand it will be seeing a PlayStation Network, and no, wait, I think just a PlayStation Network release to be compatible with the PlayStation Move, which really wants me to get a Move, as a matter of fact. Haha. And also, I like it too. They also made a prequel, The House of the Dead Overkill, on the Wii, and they made an extended House of the Dead Overkill extended cut on the PlayStation 3 using the PlayStation Move. So there's a lot of House of the Dead to play, but anyway, I really like this first one. It's a good opening chapter. It is, being a light gun game, an early light gun game, it is very short. It's about only 4 levels, but I really enjoy it, and it's a great thrill ride, and I love light gun games because it's like a really cool little roller coaster ride. Although I'm not a big fan of roller coasters in real life, but in video games, it's not too shabby. But if you can find this game like I did, please, and if you have an old CRT TV, please pick it up. It's well worth the money involved. And also the stunner is a very good gun to use for it. Please find that. I got mine for dirt cheap, so I highly recommend this game. So get yourself a copy of this game if you can, and take down the zombie armies. And before we go, as always, if you live in or around South St. Paul, Minnesota, or the Twin Cities, Minnesota metro area in particular, please be sure to visit my good friends at Level Up Games. As usual, here is the address and their website. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, please rate and subscribe to my channel, and like me. I have a Facebook page, and it's just basically type Skakin Bacon Media, and it should come up pretty quickly. And like my fan page to get more, to join the Skakinverse. And also, I have a site that I do stop motion animation and live action shows like this one, of course. And those sites are I'll just say them all at once. www.skakinbacon.com/skakinbaconmedia, and that's for the live action ones like this show. And my stop motion animation site is skakinbacon.com/SBA. Well, that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for another episode of Power Up!